So here we go. Hello, my name is Tammy and welcome to Travel Talk. Tonight we're going to discuss 6 top travel reward cards and ways that you can save because there are an amazing amount of opportunities for collecting points so that you can actually get free travel. I'm addicted. I have been a travel hack, as they call it these days, for many, many years. I put everything on a credit card. And I actually, as Carl Malden used to say, don't leave home without it. I have cash all the time too, because as a tour leader, you've always got to have some cash in your pocket because you never know when you're going to need to use that for somebody in the group. But I definitely use my credit card whenever possible. So what I'm going to do is I have a couple of notes here that I'm going to share so that I can make it through the night with all of my wisdom. And I'm just going to start with, first of all, like, who doesn't love free stuff? Can you guys see the screen?
Oh, I see you.
You see me? Okay. Okay, great. So let me just do this. And I am, here we go. There.
Yes.
Inch.
Do you see the screen now? Can you see who doesn't love free stuff? Yes?
We're seeing the SLT site.
Okay, so I'm going to try this one more time. I swear I've done this before.
All right.
Yeah, share screen. Here it is. Okay, now, right?
Now
Yeah.
we see it.
Pinch for
Now
bigger view.
Who doesn't love free stuff? Anybody here? I do. I have another saying that you're welcome to use anytime you want. One of my friends coined it, and it's called free 99. If it's free 99, I'm taking.
If it's free, it's me.
Yeah, all right, Sam, there's your invitation. That's the second one tonight. So that's what I want to talk about. How can you get to travel and do the things that you want to do and not pay for it all, right? So some of the things that you earn when you're collecting points on your credit cards are airline tickets, hotel stays, back, goodies. Does anybody know what I mean by goodies?
Not really.
No.
Okay. Goodies are going to be like you get to book early on the aircraft. You get to check your bag for free. I even found a card tonight. I'm going to show you. You get a free delivery dudes for a year. It could be extra points. It could be no fee transactions. It could
Yeah, I got you.
memberships, right? So there's a lot of different additional perks that they throw in.
Free global access card.
That's, yes, and even I did find one with some credit towards global access for sure. So, how do you choose a card? Because honestly, there are thousands of cards out there, and it's really up to what your goal is. And I use the short-term goal because I think that's easier to get started when you're first trying to figure out what credit cards you can use. I have, again, as I said, I'm a credit card warrior. I have 1 million points on my American Express card. So if you think that it's not going to be worth it to you, you're dead wrong. And I don't like to say that, but if you start and you just use that card or 2 cards for everything that you do, it does add up. It's called compounding, right? So everybody knows the story about if you doubled a penny every day, that you'd be a millionaire in no time. And I'm sure there's a real answer to that. But the point is, now, start compounding, it adds up. But the key is that you want to focus it, right? So when you think about what's your short-term goal, so I'm thinking like for Jenny, for example, I know that she always flies on American Airlines because that's the carrier from her area. So it would be really silly for her to save points on a card for United Airlines because she's never going to fly on United. So maybe you have to be specific to your region. So you're going to want to collect points based on where you live. Maybe you want to be able to use your points for multiple things. Maybe it's for airline tickets. Maybe you want to use it for hotels. Maybe you want to cash it in for gift certificates, like American Express. You can cash in for all kinds of things. There's all kinds of partners that you're able to cash your points in for all kinds of gadgets and gift cards and all kinds of things that you need in life. Maybe you just need some flexibility with what you're cashing in on. So it just depends on what your goal would be. Another short-term goal would be to go to Paris, right? And I want to go on Air France because I heard that Air France has amazing first class. So not only are we getting free tickets, we're getting upgrades. That's one of my favorite is flying on Air France. It's one of my favorite airlines. And if I can do a first class ticket in Air France, I'm never getting off. I don't care where it goes. I don't care where I start. I'm hanging out in that first class. And that actually is a true story. The last time I came from Paris to Miami, you know how everybody, when the plane lands and it gets to the gate and everybody jumps up and they're running up the plane. I was still sitting there with my blanket on going, no, I don't want to get off. Not flight. And I was still wanting to stay. That's how great their service is. You know, is it a first class upgrade? What is the goal that you're looking for? And so that's where I would start. And anybody have a specific something in mind right now that they're trying to earn points for?
Earning points to stay in, I didn't read my ticket right, and I'm having to stay in London when I come back from the Great Continent overnight.
So you're trying to earn some points to
Well,
stay at your hotel night.
I've got the points, but I'm trying to figure out which hotel to stay in because I'm one of those people that doesn't like to pay for the taxi. But I don't know who's got the shuttle now or who's going to have the shuttle in November.
Yeah, don't
Okay.
stay at the Hilton. It's about 100. They say it's an airport motel if you're like to take a 100-mile trip to the hotel.
And you know what, Jenny, maybe one of the cards I show you tonight might be of interest to you for hotels, so stay tuned. Okay, so that's another intention for your points. So here's 5 things that I'm going to recommend that you look for when you're starting to look for a card. So first of all, you set your goal, right? You may need more than one card, but since there's thousands, you don't need 1,000. In fact, too many cards could affect your credit. If you have good credit, none of this is really going to give you too much trouble as long as you keep your balances to the midway or below and you apply for the cards over a period of time, in other words. So you wouldn't want to apply for 4 cards all at once. But if you spread it out a little bit, so let's say you decide after tonight's presentation, there's 2 cards that you think would be very helpful for you, I would apply for one and go ahead and get it approved. And then maybe a month later, apply for the other one because they will check your credit in order to issue your card. And then your credit limit would also be based on your credit. But asking for a new credit card is not going to affect your credit in a derogatory way. Keeping high balances over long periods of time, that's another story. So 5 key things to look for when you're trying to decide on a valuable card for collecting points. First of all, so many of them have such a great introductory offer. I would almost say that should be your number one defining factor is what kind of an upfront deal does it have? And when I say upfront deal, I mean, how many bonus points are you going to get, right? So it's anywhere between 25 to 50, 60, 70. I'm going to show you some cards tonight that have $100,000 point bonuses just for signing. So 100,000 points is easily an international round trip ticket, an economy class. That's easily an upgrade if you buy a ticket with the right class of service and you get an upgrade for your class of maybe to business or first class. So, and that's free 99. It doesn't cost you anything to go ahead and apply for those cards and get those bonus miles. The other thing that I would recommend is that you look for a no fee card or a super low fee. So if you're going to get 50 or 60,000 miles, $95, that's worth it to me. Because I know if you buy air miles with any of the carriers, you're paying a lot more than $95 for 50 or 60,000 miles. It's more like 10 cents or something, 10 cents a mile. So that would be another criteria that I would look for is a no or low fee card. And usually some of them even waive the fee for the very first year. The next criteria I would consider is that you have a low spend threshold, meaning, and when I show you some of the cards, this will make sense to you. So let's say they're going to give you 60,000 miles, but you have to spend $1,500 or $3,000 in the first 3 months. That's usually the kicker, because they know that once you spend that money, they're going to make money on those charges through the bank transactions. So they're going to make whatever they need on that 3,000 or that 1,500 in order to justify the miles to you. But you don't want to have to spend $6,000, $10,000, $15,000, right? You just want to spend the minimum so you can get those bonus points. The next thing I would look for are cards that give you extra points for specific purchases. It could be a brand. For example, if you have the American Express card by Delta, and then you buy a Delta ticket with the Delta airline card, you could get more points than 1 point per dollar, in other words. So most of the programs will, when you spend, you earn a point, 1 to 1. What I'm looking for here is a card that might be giving me 3, 4, 5, 10 to 1 in points when I buy certain things. So if you're on that Delta American Express card and you buy a Delta Airlines ticket, they're going to give you more points than if you buy an American Airlines ticket on your American Express as the Delta ticket. You're not going to get extra points. So they benefit because they are the holder or the purveyor of the card. And then the last thing would be those extra benefits, those goodies that I was talking about early, and they can be anything, right? Whatever kind of partnership that they've created to make that card be more valuable could be worth something for you. So, I mean, if you're home, like the one that I saw for the, it wasn't DoorDash, but it was another one of those, and it's on the slide. But I mean, if you're sitting at home and you're ordering food every night or every other night because of COVID, boy, that would have been a great membership to have for free, because I think it costs maybe $10 every time you order in. So those are for me, the top things are get that upfront offer as low as you can to get that card for a year, spend as low as you can to get those points, and see where you can stack it and what else can you get. Right. And so that's all going to kind of play into that goal setting part, because if you want to achieve go to Paris, then I know I might need for that first class ticket, I might need 150,000 miles. So I'm going to try to get a high card. I'm going to try to get one because I want to go on an Air France, and it's got to have a partnership with Air France and so on. So I have to do a little digging. There's plenty of sources for you to look for the information online. They make it really easy because they want you to take their cards out.
Yeah, I would just say one thing, that if you just have one, like a Visa, or I wouldn't count on an American Express if you're going to all these different countries, because evidently American Express pisses some of these people off, and they won't take it.
That's right, Sam. The thing with American Express is that for a vendor, as a business, you pay a little bit more in fees when somebody uses an American Express. So that's usually the reason why most businesses wouldn't use it. But I contend that American Express holders have all the money. So I would never turn down an
No,
American.
I would always have an American Express. And then you're better off just having a Visa and a MasterCard, because sometimes, like if you're in Croatia, the Visa might not be, they say, oh, we don't take no Visa, no Visa. But
That's true. You're right, Sam. When you travel, it's good to have more than one brand of a card. And you're right. In a lot of the international destinations, American Express is not accepted at all. So if you do carry Amex like I do, then I also carry my MasterCard with me.
And then, sometimes like that Advantage card from American Airlines is pretty good. But every once in a while they screw up. And if you have, like I have a business and a personal card, but a lot of times they tell you, well, you can't apply and get 50,000 miles twice in a row, for two different cards. But I think on the Advantage, they screw up every once in a while and, they let you do it.
You just have to try. Because the worst cases, they say no.
Yeah. And then the other thing is pay your phone. Don't have it auto pay, but pay your phone bill on the card, pay your water bill on the card, anything you can pay on the card, do it, but you have to do it. I wouldn't just sign up for auto pay. I would do it almost, every time it came due.
Sure. And I think
Because like those people from Texas that had their electric bill on the card, that's how they maxed out pretty quick.
that's true. And again, as I said in the beginning, you want to be able to pay your bill off every month. This is for those of us that, we have an income, we have good credit. Not to say that you can't do this. You can work toward it, and there are ways to do it. If your credit is less than, let's say, 650, you're going to have a harder chance to get.
Yeah, I should have said it. Don't put everything on your card unless you can pay it off
correct
every month.
That's right.
And
For tonight, we're talking about the earning the points more than kind of a credit scenario. But let's imagine that everybody has the credit, they're able to pay it off every month. And these were some of the extra things that I was talking about that you might be searching for. So I gave you my top 5 criteria. Some of these other things are a little bit hidden in the fine print, but usually in the promotion. So for me, the no transaction fees was really important. And I'll tell you guys one trick. Like, for example, when you're booking a vacation, not all travel providers are located in the United States. So if you book a vacation with a company that's headquartered outside the United States, chances are they're transacting in their own monetary units, and you're going to have to pay an international transaction fee on that purchase. So that could be the same thing if you're buying something online. If it's on a site that's not US based, then you would get hit with transaction fees. So use a card that doesn't charge transaction fees, and there are quite a few of those.
Yeah.
One of the benefits that's excellent is free check baggage. That's usually going to come along with one of the airline associated cards. Priority boarding, same thing. Extra points for certain purchases. We talked about the Delta. I'm going to show you with Hilton and Marriott how that helps you with their cards. Travel insurance. Some of the cards offer no fee or lower priced insurance policies on certain travel. And then there's memberships. So the list goes on, and it's all about the partnerships that they've made. So those are some of the extra things, again, depending on where you live, what your goal is, what you want to accomplish with your points. And you can make your decision on which card makes sense for you.
Tammy, can I speak up on one thing about the benefits?
Sure.
Using on American Express, that is the one card that I use when I book on my travel. And thank God I did when I did the Tuscany tour. We had storms going into Rome, and lo and behold, my luggage gets lost. And because I booked my airline through American Express, the one perk with American Express is if I had to, they would give me $1,000 to buy clothes with. And that was part of whenever you book with American Express, you get that little travel perk, which a lot of people don't realize that is the case. I lucked out and I got my luggage at like 3 o'clock in the morning, but because if you book your airline tickets with them and they lose your luggage, they will give you that as it's part of their, it's in the fee that you have when you do I did mileage. That you get that special perk that you can, if you need to buy clothing, you can buy clothing and then it's, I don't know how it's actually taken off, but they give you that extra perk.
Terrific.
You know, there's one other thing too, you know, like where they waived the fee for the first year and then they charge you $75 or something on the bill 12 months later. If you call up and really sort of say, oh, I didn't realize, I love the card and blah, 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 they'll usually give you some kind of deal. Well, if you spend another $200, we'll waive the fee for the month or whatever. So
Yeah,
that's
you know,
another.
that's an excellent point,
I
Sam.
I just did that this past week. $99. I talked him into. I didn't get to use any of my perks this past year on American. So
You
Good
got to
on
I,
you
start to
guys.
cry. And, oh my God, I love the card.
Well, it's an excellent point that I think sometimes there are people that don't realize that you are able to pick up the phone and have a conversation with a representative. They want to keep your business. You can always ask. I've used that not only for waiving the membership fees, but also for reducing the credit card amount, the interest percentage. So if you have a high interest card, it's really worth your benefit to give them a call and ask them if there's a promotion going on or something like that. And oftentimes you can get that amount reduced. That's a
Well,
carry
well,
our balance.
yeah, we use a credit card at work, and we run a lot of our like purchases. So we have like a $20,000 or $30,000 bill every month, but we get 2% back, which
Oh, that's a great.
they'll even send you that as a check for the owner of the company, and that's sort of off the books, which isn't bad.
You know,
Tammy,
yes, Jenny.
I use my card like cash and I keep a running total of how much I charge so I won't go over my budget. And then at the end of the month, I pay it. So I have zero interest.
That's right. And that's the best way to do it because you don't have to worry about, even if it's high or low, you won't have to worry about it. Got it.
Well, it's easy to see how you get in trouble because even if you owe $30,000 on a month, it's only a $300 payment will get you okay. But
Yeah.
it doesn't take long to bust your credit limit on that.
Right. Well, it can't creep up. Listen, guys, and that's why these credit card companies are offering such enticing opportunities because they know that life happens. And once you charge with them, there's a high percentage of chance that you're not going to be able to pay it off. And that's how they would make some of their money. So where do you look for the card, right? Google. You can just Google. And by the way, you could Google those benefits you're looking for. Credit cards that have high offers for points up front, credit cards with no fees, credit cards with low interest, credit cards with hotel benefits. You can just go crazy with your Google. You'll find all kinds of opportunities where they're comparing different cards and you can see differences other than what I'm going to show you tonight that's available to you. Your own bank. Bank probably has some offers now and again. So every time you go in or they send you an email, I know every time I open my app, I have Citibank, there's some kind of an offer for a credit card. So those, don't overlook those. Sometimes they're very good. While you're traveling, my best credit card offer I got while I was on American Airlines, it's one of the cards I'm going to show you tonight. I did end up getting 75,000 points just to sign up, plus. And I love that card. That's the one I use for no fees. And I also fly on American Airlines a lot. So I like to have an American Airlines card. And so you never know. Also, you may have seen when you checked into a hotel, there's often a little brochure card holder there, and they might have a little brochure on their point system. And I've noticed that over time, some of the better deals I've seen for the hotels are right there while you're doing your stay. So keep an eye out while you're on the road. Magazines are another location where you might see some really good offers from time to time, because usually if they're investing to get the word out about a new offer, they're going to be more aggressive. So those are just some of the ways, and I think most of us would probably use Google. But these are the top 6 cards. Now this is really current. These are from January of this year. Some real, true, valid offers that are going on right now. So so we were talking a little bit about the area that you live in. So most of us live in the United States. So there's some major carriers, right? You've got United, American, Southwest, Delta. So it goes without saying that you may want to align with a card that's going to let you redeem your points on a carrier that you can use. Because, by the way, the most valuable redemption is airline. You know, if you go and buy a gift certificate, you know, for one of the major electronic stores or something, you're going to probably spend $10,000 for something that you could buy for $500, right? So imagine if we're earning $1 per point, in order to redeem something that's 10,000 points, you had to spend $10,000 to get those points. So I'm not really thrilled about spending $10,000 to get a $750 electronic piece of equipment. But I am excited to spend $10,000 to get a first class ticket somewhere that would cost me $10,000. So that might not be an even exchange. I'm being a little liberal with the numbers here, but it is my experience over all these years that the most valuable redemption has been airline tickets. So this Sapphire card is a Chase card, and with their program, they have probably 10 airlines that you're able to redeem your points on, and United Airlines is one of them. This one has, this is the one that's got the free DoorDash delivery for 1 year. So, you know, this might be worth it for you in the next couple of 6-8 months. 60 points. You have to spend 4,000 in the first 3 months. So what that means is, so like Sam was saying, just use that card for everything, for your gas, for dining, travel. As you can see here, for travel and dining, you earn 2 points for every $1. So if you bought an airline ticket for $2,000, you're going to get 4,000 points. So you can't go far in 4,000, but again, it adds up. Also, no blackout dates, no foreign transaction fees, and then you get the double points and the free DoorDash. A note about the no blackout dates. And this is in one of my slides later on, but I'm going to bring it up now as we talk about this because I think it's important. You want to know how you're going to redeem your points. And that you might have to Google, because not all redemption is equal. So some of these cards are getting multiple points, but when you go to redeem, so let's say, for example, I'm doing my trip to Paris, because this is what I do. I haven't done lately, but I will go to multiple sources. So I'll go to American Express, the travel company, because I have my American Express card, and I can redeem through them, or I can redeem through Air France, or I can redeem through American Express. Let's see, American Express is the company, or Air France. Usually those two, I'm going to pay more points if I go through American Express than if I go through Air France directly.
Right.
So something to compare when you're going to redeem and to like learn a little bit about the redemption. So I won't talk about each of these cards and how you redeem, but that's just something to consider. So not all redemption places of purchase are the same. So I think this is a great one for somebody who's just starting. It's a low fee, $95. It's 4,000 the first 3 months. That's kind of high though. Maybe not everybody would want to spend that much, but it is a nice if you're looking for United Airlines. So this is my fave card. I've had this card, I'm not kidding. I think we're at 42 years or 38 years or something that I've had the American Express Gold card. So it is a higher it's a higher annual fee, the $250. 35,000 points right now. They're having an offer after you spend 4,000, no transaction fees, 4 points on food, 3 points on flights, which I like a lot. You get $100 in an airline fee credit and $120 in dining credit. So some of these things add up, right? I particularly did not put the platinum card in here, but if you're high end, that one's about $595 for the year, but there is a lot more included in that. But that's not the average guy card, so I didn't put that one in here. But certainly, if you're a high flyer, you get like you're a VIP with Uber for a year. You get access to lounges at the airport.
Yeah, you get the priority pass.
Yeah. So that's a good one if you're, if you travel a lot and you're definitely looking for that VIP service. But this is my go-to card. This is the one I have 1 million points on. But again, I like Air France, and this is the only one that I can use for Air France. So remember I said, set your goals and set your goals high. That's for me, that's my everything. But I do use this for everything, business, you name it, my gas, it's all going here on American Express.
You know, they also have the concierge on the other card, the platinum, which
Yes, they do.
is
The concierge
pretty
is
nice.
it's somewhat helpful. They're definitely script reading. I don't know that they really outdo a great travel agent. I'm not convinced, but again, I'm in travel, so I have a lot of knowledge. But for somebody who's not, I think it's just nice to be able to pick up the phone and call and have somebody there, somebody live. That's worth the price of gold.
Tammy, this is the one I have, and they have a concierge too.
Perf. Okay, great, Janetta. So this is my other one. This is my alternate. And by the way,
I've got that.
I was glad I was researching for tonight's presentation. And there were probably 10 cards that were coming up at the top, but I wanted to share these two because I use these all the time. This is the one I got on the airplane. So you can see it's 50,000 points up front and it's only 2,500. So in the first 3 months, you're talking about less than 1,000 a month. And they're waiving your membership for the first year. So I'm like, it's not costing me anything to get in. Remember my criteria. I'm getting nice points up front, 50,000. I only have to spend about, what is it, 1,400, not even that. 12 and 12. Yeah, not even, gosh, my math is always pretty fast and good, but now I'm on camera. So 800, 8 times 3 is 24. Yeah, 850 a month. Most of us try your mortgage, try your rent, try anything like that. I mean, you'd be surprised, especially these days, your rent. I think landlords would be glad to get anything under any circumstances. So try the people that you're having to pay and see who will take the card. And so this would be a great one. No foreign transaction fees. That was why I got this one, because American Express was charging fees for a while. They've changed that policy now. And then I get 2 points on gas. And here's what I like. So I fly on American. So whenever I go on American and I buy a drink or I buy lunch, I get a 20% discount on what I buy on board. So that's valuable for me. And my first bag is checked for free. So that's worth 35 bucks these days, right? So that all adds up. So for me, that made sense to do. That's an American. So if you're United, you are going to go with Chase or the United Airlines cards. If you're an American, if you're loyal to American and you're going to want the American, Delta, and Southwest also has a good program as well. This is one that a lot of people know about because they've been around. Capital One have been in this game for a very long time. So look at this nice offer, 60,000 miles when you spend 3,000 in the first month. So that's 1,000 a month. And then they give you 2 points for every dollar spent all the time, they say. And no limit on the amount of miles. They give you a $100 application fee credit for your global entry. So that's kind of cool. So if you are traveling a lot, and we will get there, you're going to apply for global entry. They're going to give you $100 credit toward that. There are also no blackout dates. Again, I bring that up when they do the no blackout dates. That usually means, yes, you can go anytime, but you're going to pay more points if you want to go over Christmas or New Year's or one of the major holidays, you're going to end up using more points. So it sounds great, no blackout, but they'll catch you with the amount of points you have to redeem.
Oh, Tammy, I just
Yeah,
happened to use it. I just went this past week and applied for a TSA pre-check,
yeah.
and my the fees.
And what, Brad? It kind of went out for a minute. Would you repeat that?
He's frozen.
He's frozen.
My internet froze up on me there.
So Brad, repeat what
I
you
heard you
said.
say that you applied for the TSA and what happened?
Well, I applied for the TSA and I used my venture card to pay for it. It was $85 for TSA, and right to me, I get my a text message that they accepted the credit, and next thing you know, I get a text message that it's credited back to me already.
That's cool.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Love
and,
it. That's right. You're getting ready for Mexico.
yeah.
How long is that good for? 5 years or a year?
Matter of fact, I just used that card yesterday
No, for the
to pay for the
pre-check.
Mexico trip.
It's
Uh,
5
the pre-
years. It's 5 years.
5 years, yeah. Because you're probably better off if you're going to go anywhere, you're better off getting the global, because I think it includes the pre-check.
Yeah, but I didn't. Matter of fact, I really didn't need the pre-check because being 78 years old, I get all those benefits anyway. The only
Well, you're
reason I
ready.
was
You're
looking at
ready.
it was
That's
because you usually get a shorter line, you know. I don't have to take my shoes off. I don't have to take my coat off. I don't have to take my liquids out. And so,
Great. That's good. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. There's so many advantages to our being in that 65 plus crowd these days, right?
Oh yeah, it's just so great.
It's great.
Yeah, but
So we talked about we're talking about redeeming for airlines, and some of us benefit there, no doubt. We're all traveling. Another one is hotels, and so I found that they're very generous in their programs, but they're also as super limited, right? So you're typically getting the most value when you're reserving accommodations with that hotel card. So, but if
You know that you probably should get the Marriott card, not for the points or anything, but if you ever check into one of their 100 brands of motels, if you have that card, you have different benefits that you get, like a free paper, free free upgrade or whatever.
That's right. And that's so they really stack the value when you're staying in their properties. And there are only really like 3 major hotel brands anymore. They've all been kind of layered up, right?
Yeah, the main advantage is that they have some kind of star brand too. That if you go to check in and there are 100 people at the desk to check in, there's a thing over there for the Marriott club members who could just go right up and get a room.
Right. It's wonderful. So this card, so if you're in hotels, then the Marriott Bonvoy Boneless, that's our new club name. Probably about a year ago, you guys saw 100,000 commercials for Bonvoy, and we're all like, what's Bonvoy? So anyway, that's their new, it used to be Marriott, whatever their other point system was, but now it's called Bonvoy. So that's a $95 fee. You get 100,000 points. So I think, an average Marriott night, because I also get Marriott points with one of my other cards, maybe it's my Amex. You can expect to spend, on a great Marriott and a good location, 5-star, on a high night, you're going to pay 50,000-75,000 miles for one night. But you could easily get, an average time of the year at a decent Marriott, and you might pay 23,000 or something like that. So that 100,000 could pay for 4 nights somewhere if it's not high season. So that's pretty good. 4-night vacation. That's spending 3,000 the first 3 months. Again, we're probably all spending that much anyway in some bills combination or another. They're giving a 1 free night on your sign up anniversary, and then 6 times points for all your Marriott purchase. So if you make a vacation and you use your Marriott card for a Marriott stay, instead of 1-to-1, you're getting 6-to-1. So, and as Sam said, automatic hotel status, that means you get other perks, papers, upgrades, kind of like the premium membership, right? You're going to get first announcements when there's a new deal, and if there's any perks, you're going to get them over anybody else. So for those who are looking for some specific hotel benefits, maybe you have a beautiful Marriott resort near your home. So now, since we can't go far, and to be honest, other than Mexico, Caribbean, and Central America for the next year, we're pretty much bound. I'm hoping that some things open up, but that's what it's looking like. We might want to do some staycations, right? So you might be just like Michael, he checked into a hotel in Maryland tonight, just to get on the road a little bit. So where we might not have appreciated these Marriott or these hotel cards, these might be seeming a little bit more interesting these days.
Pennsylvania is tricky crossing state lines, so we don't have that option.
Yeah. And then the Hilton Honors I thought was good too. And everybody loves a little competition. So since Marriott was doing 100,000, Hilton Honors is doing 100,000. And look, they have no fee. This is an American Express card. So it's kind of cool because you would also get the American Express benefits, even though it's Hilton. So you get to stack on Hilton. So you're getting 7 times your points for Hilton purchase. So they did one better than the Marriott at 6. But here's what I like, 5 points for eligible purchases. Now there's going to be a list, but US restaurants, supermarkets, gas stations. So this card could be really powerful for a lot of us because you're going to get 100,000 points for Hilton. It's also an Amex card, so it crosses over to all those other partners. And you're going to really stack up the points when you stay at Hilton, but you can use it for all your day-to-day expenditures. So I just thought that might be a really good one. I have a Hilton Honors reward card, but I don't have this American Express. So I'm kind of looking at this one after I did the research tonight. This one's looking pretty good.
And it
Go ahead.
takes you about 55,000 points just to stay one night, though. That's the thing. That 100,000 will probably give you 2 nights.
Yeah, except it's free, $99. Remember our new term tonight. If there's no fee and I apply for this card and it doesn't ding my credit, I'm going to get 100,000 points. So guess what? 3 free nights, 2 free nights, and 1 on my anniversary, which I may have to renew. But if it's no fee, there's no skin off my nose.
Right.
If I use this one, I'm getting, so I'd like to see what the list of restaurants and supermarkets are, because if it's mine, I actually put my groceries now on my city card and I get city rewards, but I don't know, I'm liking this one. So for sure.
I have a question. You get Hilton Honor points even if you don't have the card, if you're a member of Hilton Honors.
Correct.
If you have the card, you get them twice.
Yeah, you get your, because that's a free day membership. That has nothing to do with this credit card.
Tammy, I'd like to add another little thing. I use PayPal a lot, and I have my charge card connected to my PayPal account. So I'm getting points every time I use my PayPal.
Right, and so that's good. I would, just compare that, what you're earning with them compared to what you're getting, what some of these other cards are offering, and then what can you redeem for? PayPal is a big organization, so I'd imagine they have some decent partnerships, but that's where your goal comes into play. So again, sorry to land the Air France, but I'm like, Air France and Singapore Airlines and Thai Airways. Those are some of the things that I dream about and places I like to go. South African Airways. So I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to redeem the points for the air carriers internationally that I want to go on. So you could do the same thing. So look at where you think you're going to go in the next 3 to 5 years, and what cards are you going to get yourself? What cards, if you stack up all your expenditures for 3 years, you could easily take your budget. Janetta, you're doing a budget. Look at your budget, see how much you're spending, and then add it up, and then try to focus on one card that's going to give you the most bang for your spending.
Right.
So how long before we get taxed for all of this?
I don't know, Sam. We're supposed to stay positive here tonight.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm teasing you. It's a good question. I don't know.
No, they wouldn't have the nerve to do that.
So here's the one Sam had mentioned in the beginning that, at his corporation, they do a cash back card. Maybe that's your goal, right? Maybe you're like, hey, we're in COVID. I don't really think I'm going to go anywhere for a couple of years. I'm just making this up. I hope that's not true for anybody, but
No, Tammy, our T&E this year is 0. No travel. No travel.
you're saving a lot of, your company's saving a lot of money. But if cash back is your goal, listen, I might just apply for this one anyway, because look, I'm sorry, I'm going to spend $500 in the next 3 months. Look at the return on the investment here. If I get this card and I spend $500, they're going to give me $200 back. That's a huge, somebody do the math on that. It's not 50%, but I'm getting 40% of my money back by just applying for this Freedom Flex card.
Yeah, well, some of them have sign up a friend, so you can sign up Sergio.
It's
And-
free. I'm going to sign up all my members at Singles Travel International. Today I did an email. It was 53,577 of you guys on Singles Travel International. So I'll just apply for one for everybody. I'm kidding.
We'll bail you out if you get in trouble.
Yeah. By the way,
So the point
isn't
is
that how
that-
Chase got in trouble?
Yeah, I'll be like, get a jail free, and Sam will say, well, I'll get you out in 3 months as soon as I get my cash back.
Yeah.
I guess, the point is that there are lots of opportunities for you to start earning value on the money that you're spending today without investing another penny. It's already expenditures that are in your monthly budget. And if you're, I will think about this. If you're financially in a good place, you're financially responsible, you're paying your credit cards off every month, that means it doesn't cost you anymore because you're not incurring any interest charges. There are so many ways for you to start getting ahead here. And in 3 years, if after tonight you go tomorrow and you apply for one new card that makes sense for you, and just do a little research and you say, well, I live here, I think this card would work for me, and get in for 0 for the first year, or 0 application, or maybe $95, and start earning your points. Because if you're not, you're really doing yourself a disservice. It will add up, I promise. It doesn't take any more effort to pay your bill using your card than it does to send your check in or to do it electronically online. Some of the bill pays do charge a fee for using a credit card. So watch for that. I know the government sites do. When I have to do something like my driver's license, there's like a 2 or 3% fee for doing a credit card. But sometimes that's the easiest way to do it. Not a big amount. It's worth it. So that I thought was a cool cash back one. Now, print. What I just said matters. Pay your bill every month. See how much you need to spend. You saw that it ranged anywhere from 1,500 to 4,000. So maybe you wouldn't be at 4,000 in 3 months. Maybe you're more closer to the 1,500, but you would know that. Just see how long the points last. If you were to cancel, I noticed that I didn't see any today that made you lose the points if you cancel too soon, but that might be in the real fine print. So double check that, because if you cancel the card before a year, they may take your points away, and then you have to start all over again. Also, I saw benefits from some of the cards for extending to that next year. So if you get that first year for free, they kind of want to keep you. So they may have an added incentive. If they don't offer it up front, you may give them a call after a year and say, hey, I'm thinking of canceling. Have that conversation, like Sam and Jenny said.
There's one other thing. Sometimes you can transfer or trade the points between friends. Now they'll charge you like $15 or something like that. But if you're going to, I'll give you 10,000 points and you give me 10,000 points. Sometimes you can work that out between friends. Because that's how I finally got enough to go business class to Sydney. Had to get another 30,000 points.
Sure. So, right, some programs will let you donate points. Some will let you buy more points.
Right.
And so that's actually, I hadn't thought about that, Sam. And I was thinking about redeeming where I was talking about, for example, when I go to do an airline ticket at American Express, I have to move it to another air carrier and I have to have that program set up with them as a frequent flyer. And then I pay fees for that.
Right.
I think it's, so much per 1,000 points and I have to move 1,000 at a time. Well, it's not as significant to me as, like I said, the blackout dates. If you want to go on a high period, you're probably going to use more points. So you may not have too much control over how you redeem them, but it's definitely worth comparing. If you're going to go ahead and compare some cards, it's definitely worth comparing.
Well, the other thing, it's almost a full-time job to accumulate 200,000 or 300,000 points from nothing.
Another thing I wanted to point out, when one of my grandsons turned 16, we flew out to Seattle and I got him an American Airlines card to make sure that plane ticket that grandma paid for, when we got back, I transferred the points on his card to my card because I knew that he would never have.
Yeah. And that was a small charge, right? Not a whole lot, right?
Right. And then the point I was trying to make about PayPal is every month my lawn guy charges me $75. I pay the $75 through PayPal using my American Airlines card, so I get the points that way. So
It
that was,
doesn't cost you anything extra.
no, I
It
don't
doesn't
pay.
cost him anything or it doesn't cost you anything,
Doesn't cost me
except for
anything.
$75.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, actually, it does cost me because if I was to write him a check, I would save 3%, but I go ahead and pay the 3%. So I don't have to walk out to the mailbox to pay him because that's the only way he wants to be paid. So,
Great. That's good. So you guys, you can hear that some of us are advanced on this, this business. Some of us are beginning and, just keep it simple. I hope that some of those cards I showed you gave you some insight into the fact that it's as easy as even just get started with one, make your application, start using one so you get used to that, because that's like a lifestyle change. If you're not used to charging on your card, get used to that. So anywhere you go out, no matter where you go, whenever you buy something, you're like, oh my gosh, that's right, I want to use my X card because I'm earning points on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I loved having you here, and we'll do a little more Q&A, but I'm going to sign off for our YouTube viewers right now. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you every Tuesday at Travel Talk with Tammy. Thank you.